Hey kids, it's your favorite low life drinking high life, and well, man, I'm bad at this. Favorite low life drinking high life. And I was completely out of frame. Hey kids, it's your favorite low life drinking high life, and I'm here to talk about flip phones. I completely missed that cap. Hey kids, it's your favorite low life drinking high life, and I'm here to make a video about flip phones.
Blackbeard's here, Blackbeard's here, Blackbeard's coming and he's taking his shit.
Now if you don't remember flip phones, you better get out of here, kid, because you're not old enough for this shit. I drink and I vape. This thing is dead. This isn't a channel for children, alright? And the reason I want to talk about flip phone games for this video is because they had kind of a profound impact on me as a kid. I spent a lot of time in trouble and all I had was a flip phone, so I played a lot of Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events, books 1 through 3 for the mobile phone platform for the Motorola Razr. But that game's lost to time now. I don't even have footage I can stick behind me on this green screen, so I want to take a bullet for the team and do my part in archival and try to save as many of these games as I can, at least with footage. It's still dead. It's still fucking dead. Haha, I took a bullet for the team, gun vape. Flip phone games as a concept are super cool to me. Flip phones are fairly utilitarian devices. They had everything working against them, and yet some devs put their heart and souls into the projects and made truly, genuinely good titles. In the future, I'd like to examine some of these in a more thorough light, but for now, let's just give a brief overview of the weird and wacky world of flip phone games. Bad is the pervasive, overwhelming theme here. What are the games I think which are the worst? Mostly the cheap cash-in titles, things like the Lemony Snicket game I mentioned earlier. Games you could probably make an RPG Maker or Game Maker in less than 20 minutes if you really wanted to. They even come complete with their own shitty MIDI songs. I've always wanted to fucking hear Kryptonite in a shitty MIDI format. The fucking trumpets! Sometimes these games even have absurdly weird flaws, like cranking the audio 90 decibels for no fucking reason. This is so bad. What the fuck? Can you hear that in the mic? Oh my fucking god! But the majority of them don't even get to be that interesting. Most of them are kinda dull with no standout flaws. Every single AAA shooter from like 03 to 010 got a flip phone port, if you give a shit about that. And almost every single one of them is a top-down shooter with recycled mechanics, graphics, gameplay, audio. But there's also another big money franchise that received yearly updates on the flip phone.
Somebody once told me the world's gonna roll.
Shrek. More importantly though, the following section was meant to be a joke about questing for the Smash Mouth MIDI of legend, but like, nobody used the Smash Mouth song in any of their games. Regardless though, they're all platformers that play like a mixture of like Wario World and fucking Sonic. They got the spin dash, they got the arm check. Kids spend money on these. I feel like I need to mention that. I mean, like, even most of the games that have been proliferated as like good games for mobile phones are pretty bad. You remember that Oblivion mobile port? Fucking out of here, chumps. See you later. This sucks so much. My wrist hurts already. You're all stupid. That game sucks. That sucks so bad. I would elaborate more, but like, you just mash your character up against their character and hit the attack button over and over again, which, to be fair, is an accurate recreation of the Elder Scrolls, but it sucks even harder when it's isometric, alright? In fact, almost all of these games refuse to take multiple directional inputs at once, which is hysterical. You'd have to, like, let go of right when you wanted to jump to the right, and then jump, and then start moving in the air after you've jumped. I don't know if this is a software thing or just a cheap coding thing. It's frankly kind of impressive, like, that almost 90% of these games had that issue. I mean, looking at the platform of a flip phone, what games would do well here? Maybe a couple platformers, if they resolve that multiple input issue. Maybe at the most, they'd be able to get a port of Doom or Wolfenstein in par with the old SNES ports. But what did people actually try to do with the flip phone? Nutty shit. There's games in full 3D, like the Dante game, that run at a glacial frame rate and are almost, like, they almost try to recreate the game one-to-one. It's hysterical. There's a 3D FPS adaptation of Stalker. It doesn't really have any of the in-depth shit, but it exists. They made a fully 3D, fully polygonal FPS, and it runs at a good frame rate. They have a Tony Hawk game. It's Tony Hawk's Underground, so it's real bad, but it's there. They're unplayable. They're absolutely unplayable. They're conventionally bad, but they're super cool. So, the games that would do well are maybe the aforementioned topics earlier in the video, but scaled back a little bit. There's ports of the GBA and DS Castlevania games. There's ports of Sonic the Hedgehog. There's ports of Street Fighter 2 and 3. These games are all passable and they're fun. And the thing that I found most interesting was the Castlevania games, because these were fully fledged games. These were super cool fully fledged games. The whole game is there. The map is intact. Some of the mechanics are stripped back, but the map is intact and almost all the enemies are there. Sometimes production quality is a little lacking. Oh, this is kind of bad. But there were also like demakes with almost holistically supported mechanics. There was a port of Civ 4 and 5. There was a port of The Sims 3. These were fully fledged games in your phone that were like 1.5 MB. The best game I think I've played across all of these was Gurk, which was like a very lightweight tactical RPG made for flip phones that I played a whole lot of back in high school. Although that's because it had a port to Android, so maybe this is cheating. It's a game that understands that you don't really have half an hour to play the actual game like Castlevania with its limited save systems. And the worst game is kind of a stranger and harder question to ask, because most of the games are kind of boring. Some of the games were broken or unintentionally funny. But I think upon reflection, the game that was the worst was Devil May Cry, the 2D remake. And that's because that was the only one that was able to physically harm me in the real life. It cranked the decibels up like 100, and it hurt my poor little boy sensitive ears. I have drank too much. In any case, I promise I didn't steal this video idea from Mini-Me. I've been working on this video for like a month. It just so happens that my video was worse than his and came out later. Tell me what games you thought I missed down below. Or just call me a stupid gaylord, cause I don't care anymore, man. I just don't.
Abomination, nomination, Taco Bell and masturbation, kill a kid in desperation, suck my dick and fucking Satan, tell Elliot Rogers that he can't dodge my semen, greasy white kids love a fuck, but I just wanna be him.